Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another webinar. This one is special, is an all project webinar, okay? It's because we're going to be talking about the GRP. Okay, the GRP is the Garage Resource Planning. We all know what it is. It's in the up left corner of the software, GRP, and it's the management tool, okay? The software is the same for commercial vehicle, ag, of highway, and marine, okay? That's important. So if you are a user from another project, doesn't matter because it's exactly the same. The only difference is the type of vessel or vehicle or machine that you can register, okay? Just to let you know, I'm gonna be using the Jaltest Marine software, but don't be scared because it's exactly the same. The only thing, instead of registering a truck or a tractor or a construction machine, is gonna be a vessel, but it's exactly the same, okay? So let's start. The webinar is, what is Jaltest GRP and how does it help to grow your business? I believe that most of our users do not know how to take advantage and use this software, this tool. So this webinar is going to be very interesting for you guys. Okay, so I'm going to be switching anyway from PowerPoint and the software. I'm going to divide this in three parts: introduction, Jaltest GRP features is going to be the most important part, and then additional information. Okay, first thing, introduction. Important, I just said it, but it is compatible with every project and software. Then what is GRP and why is it so useful? Okay, so first thing, I want to repeat it, okay? Very important, it's compatible with every Jaltest project and software, okay? So don't be scared if I'm registering boats instead of trucks or tractors or construction machines, exactly the same. So if you want to take advantage from this webinar and this tool and this option, the GRP, stay with us. Okay, so what is Jaltest GRP? As I said, you have to click here on the up left side. You click into GRP and you access. We have here on the initial menu, we have a description. It's very useful. Again, what it is a workshop management. Okay, and allows you to organize and manage your activity, shop, fleet, wherever. Okay, it's also a human resource tool. Okay, because we can register different users, different technicians, etc. Okay, we have different levels of GRP and different type of users. So I'm gonna try to review everything from this GRP. Okay, so we're not gonna be talking about diagnostics. Okay, it's all GRP. Why is it so useful? Have a full control of your business fleet from the GRP. Okay, so this is for small, medium, and big size companies. So I know that big companies for sure, and some medium or maybe most of the medium-sized companies, they already have their own management tool. That's totally fine, and it's actually is logical. But we can still use some of the GRP functionality. Is going to be very useful for smaller companies or some medium companies that do not have a management tool. They can use the GRP and have a full control of their shop. It's included within the software. Okay, so this is important. We know that Jaltest is 4 parts. Obviously, everything is based on our advanced diagnostics, but then we have technical information, GRP, okay, so this is the webinar from today, and customer support. So we can have an immediate interaction, communication with GRP with technical information, or GRP with diagnostics, or GRP with customer support. So this is important. It's included in the software. It's all projects, as I said, all makes and all models. Okay, so this is a huge advantage compared, for example, to OEM tools, because OEM, I don't know if they have a management tool inside the software, but it will be just for that brand or that system. In our case, it's for everything. Okay, cloud storage for free. So as we can store our information on the cloud and we can communicate all the tools that we have or different softwares, because we, with every tool, we have a serial number, we can install it in up to 3 devices, computer or tablets. Okay, if we have, for example, 2 tools, we can install in up to 6 devices. So we can connect all those devices in the same network, and we can do it for free. Well, I already said it. So connect everything, Jaltest units or devices. Okay, you can be a single Jaltest user, but you want to install in 2 or 3 computers. Okay, you can connect everything in one single network. Okay, so let's get to the Jaltest GRP features. As I said, we have different GRP types, levels. We also have different user roles or type of users. We have all the functionality like create customers and vessel list, access all your reports, your workshop management, my task, reception, human resource. I'm going to be also talking about the report sending, okay? Vessel vehicle searching list and customize your software using Jaltest GRP. Okay, so different GRP types levels. Important, they're all free. Okay, they're all free. You have different ones. When you buy the tool, you install it. What you have is the GRP basic. Okay, then we have GRP Synchro. Okay, and then we have GRP Enterprise and Network. Both of those, Enterprise and Network, we need to request it to the Jaltest technical assistance. And Network is not for everyone actually. For most of our users, you don't need it, but enterprise, I totally recommend everyone to request it. Okay, so we have the full capabilities of the GRP. Okay, so everyone, if you don't have it, the GRP Enterprise with all the options available on your GRP, send an email to your customer support, depending on the region you are, and request it. Okay, with a serial number, the name of your company, phone, email, etc., and request a GRP Enterprise. Okay, so I have been doing some screenshots because otherwise it would be difficult, but important. You access the GRP. As you can see, you only have customer list, vessel, or vehicle list for other users, and reports. Okay, that's the only thing we have. Now we click here in this option, which is the main menu. Well, here first of all, as you can see, we have customer list, vessel list, reports, okay? And now what we can do is here, click the main menu, you click here and you click into Synchro, okay? Now we have the Synchro available, okay? What's the difference with Synchro and Basic? Right now we have human resource, so we can create different users, okay? And what we can do right now is we can connect up to 3 devices. If we only have one tool, okay, we can do it by ourselves. You don't need to contact the customer support. You click into Synchro, and now you can connect up to 3 devices where you can install the software, okay? And now you can create the different human resource accounts with the different roles, okay? Now enterprise, same thing. First, we need to contact our customer support, or technical assistant, customer service, email requested, again with serial number, email, phone, company name, etc., and request this. When it's done, we need to click here, and after having the GRP Synchro, we click into GRP Enterprise, and what we will have the enterprise. It's very simple. Okay, and now what we have is all these options available. So I'm sure that a lot of users, maybe most of our users, do not have all these functions available because they haven't requested it. It's free, okay? Just send an email and request it. That way you will have all these functions available. And then we have network. Network, at the end, is a network with different Jaltest tools inside. It can be GRP Enterprise or Synchro. This makes sense for big companies or fleets. For example, marine, I wouldn't see too much sense because shops usually are smaller. But for example, for big fleets that cover a big territory or they're present in different countries, they can have regions with GRP Enterprise or Synchro, and then they can have a network for the entire group. Also, for companies, it exists with any kind of agreement. It's not the same company, but they have agreements. We can create a GRP network for them. So they can have their GRP Enterprise, and then a network for everyone. What we will be sharing is the diagnostics and maintenance reports. The rest of it, all the workshop management, is in GRP Enterprise. That's why with this is it's enough for the vast majority of our users. Okay, GRP Enterprise is the management and the workshop tool. Okay, so this is just an image. Always commercial vehicle. Here you will see like hyperlinks, so you can click it and see only those reports, again, diagnostics and maintenance reports that have been shared into that network. This is a summary. We have the different types: basic, synchro, enterprise, and network. And as we can see, we're in basic. We only have customer, vessel, vehicle list, and reports. But all these options are not available on basic. Now we can create or apply or just generate the synchro mode. And what we will have is same thing: reports, customer, vessel, vehicle list. And now we have human resource. We can create different users in cloud storage, because now we can have those up to 3 computers or tablets with the software installed, and we can share that information. Next step, we need to contact customer support and request it, as I said, and now we'll have same thing as the other options: customer, vessel, vehicle list, reports, workshop management right now. Okay, so now we can assign orders, the tool use history, etc. We have my task, reception, human resource, obviously, cloud storage. Now we don't have user limitation. Before we had 10. That was the limitation of user. Now we can create unlimited users. And multiple Jaltest tools, because now in enterprise, if we have different Jaltest tools and they can be in different locations, we can request a GRP enterprise and say all the serial numbers that are inside my network, and we can put them in the same network. Okay, so this is fantastic. You can be in different locations, but you can share all the information. For example, you have a vehicle, vessel, or wherever. Normally you go to a specific location, but then you change and you go to another one from that network, and that technician will be able to have and retrieve all the information from the other shops. So that's why GRP is so useful. Even if you're a big company with a management tool, but just being able to access client, vehicle, vessel list, reports, and creating different users, that's fantastic, and sharing all that information. And then network, well, it's pretty much everything. And if we have a group of enterprises and synchros, we can connect them in a network, and we can share the diagnostics and maintenance reports. Okay, now we go to the different user roles. All free again. Everything is free on GRP. It's included on the software. We have the top level is administrator, then we have service manager, reception, shop foreman, and technician. Depending on the user, you have more and less restrictions and rights. Okay, so we're gonna see that as well. First thing we have to do is we need to create the administrator user. That's important. So we click into human resource, then add a new user account, and then we create all this information. Okay, first name, last name, user type. Okay, if we don't put an email address, in this case, it will be related to the email address that you have used for the registration of the tool. Okay. Now you will see this information. User account has been correctly created, and you will receive an email saying your username and the temporary password. And you have to put this password, and then you need to put the one you want. Okay. Okay, so when we access as an administrator first, we'll see the nick. Okay, here I put my initials, and then you will see expert. As you may know, the extra mode code is necessary for all those advanced functionalities that request and to write on the ECM. If you don't have that extra mode code, you won't be able to do that, but you will be able to do the rest. Okay, so when logging in with your information, and depending on the user type, you will have that extra mode code or not. So this is important to be able to control who is using my tool and what are the rights and restrictions. Okay, so expert, you see it here. And then as you can see, we access the GRP and we have all the functions available. Okay, and the administrator in the top level. Now service manager, I put the initial SM. Also, we have the extra mode code. We click GRP, and then we have all these options. Okay, so we don't have some things like reception and human resource. The only user that can create user accounts is the administrator. For the rest, we can access the customer list, vessel or vehicle list. Again, this is the only difference between projects, Jaltest projects, the type of machine or vessel or vehicle that you can register. Access your reports, okay? Diagnostics, maintenance, and work order reports. And then you have workshop management. We have work orders, we have tasks, and we have workshop time reports, but we don't have the tool use history. Only the administrator can access this option. It's pretty nice and good because we can control who is using our tool, at what time, for how long, for what vehicle. Okay, so we'll have big control on who is using our tool. Okay, and then workshop management, again, work order, task. And then we have my task. Really, everyone can access their task. I can assign myself a task, or I can assign somebody else a task if I have access to the workshop management. Let's go to reception, okay? Because we can install the tool again. If we only have one tool and up to 3 devices, the mechanics can work on the shop, and then somebody can be in reception and do not get into the shop, but you can still use the GRP, and that's very useful, and that's why we have a role that's reception. As you can see, we don't have the extra mode code. Well, they can still connect if they wish, but they won't have the extra mode code. Now let's get into the GRP, and we have customer list, well, everything except workshop management and human resource. So you can create customer list, vessel, machine, vehicle list, access your reports, all of them except the tool use history, and access your task and reception, obviously, because your role is reception. I'm going to explain everything right now, but right now it's only explaining different type of users and the rights and restrictions. Now, shop foreman, okay? So here I have the initials, SF, we have expert mode. Expert mode, we access, and now we have access to customer, vessel, or machine list, reports, in my task, okay? So we don't have a workshop management, we have reception, and we don't have human resource. Same thing, customer list, vessel list. Reports, here we don't have the work order reports, obviously, because we don't have access to the workshop management and my task. Now, the last user is the technician. I don't have the expert mode code either. Now I access the GRP and I have customer list, vessel list, or machine vehicle list, reports, and my task. Okay, so I don't have access to what? Workshop management, reception, and human resource. I can create customer list and access vessel, machine, vehicle list, reports, except the work order reports, obviously, because we don't have access to the workshop management and my task. Okay, so a summary, different roles. Administrators, the top level. We have access to everything. Then we have shop service manager. We have everything except tool use history and reception and human resource. Okay, only the administrator has human resource. With reception, you don't have extra mode code, and you don't have all the workshop management and the human resource. Shop foreman, we have everything, well, except work orders, all the workshop management, okay, and reception, human resource. And technician, you don't have access to the extra mode, work orders, all the workshop management, and the same thing, reception, human resource, okay. So this is important to know, that we can use the GRP to control everything. We have different type of GRPs, different levels, or free, and different type of users, so that we can be more efficient that way. We can control everything in a better way. Okay, so now I'm gonna start accessing the software, and we have customer, vessel, vehicle list. We have the two first options. Okay, so I access my software, and what I do is I click GRP, and what I do is I access the GRP, which is the garage resource planning. I have everything available, obviously, because I have enterprise. Okay, so let's start with customer list. And what we can do here is we can access information. We can add a new customer. Okay, so for example, again, don't be scared if you're a truck user, ag user, of highway user. We can access all this information and you can create the name of that company. It can be a company like a customer of yours, or if you are like for example a big fleet and you don't have customers but you have locations, you can put locations. So you have the name, tax ID, address, you have the city, zip code, state, phone number, email. You can put all the contact details. You can name, position, phone number, and vessel, machines, vehicles. You can create a new one and you can add one from the list. Okay, why? Because you can create a vessel or a vehicle or a machine, and you haven't related that to a specific customer. You can do it afterwards. It's not a problem at all. You can also export, import list. Maybe it's easier for you. You have your own list of customer or vessels, vehicles, and you can export, import that information. Maybe that would be useful if you currently have a list of all this information. I'm going to do an example. For example, add new customer, customer code, whatever, name, shop, ABC, okay, tax ID. I'm not going to add all this information, but you can put again tax ID, address, city, zip code, state, country, phone number, all that. Contact details, John, shop, foreman, phone number. Okay, very simple. Here we can add vessels from list, or we can add a new vessel. Okay, again, I've been repeating all the time, but it's the same thing. Instead of vessels, could be trucks. Okay, I'm gonna use something that we all know: inboard comments. We all know comments, and then you can click the type of engine, motorization, and then license plate if we have it. I'm just gonna make up this information: serial number or VIN code, and number on plate if we have it. Name one. Okay. Now we have two options. As in many brands, we have multiple systems. Okay, Jaltest is an all systems diagnostics tool. We can do a system scan if we're connected to that vessel, machine, truck, and see what's inside and record it, or we can do that manual configuration. Okay, so this is important because we can save time next time we're doing the scan process, especially, for example, if I think about European trucks. You have multiple systems. Let's say that we have 20 systems in that truck, but for that specific model, we have developed like 35 systems, 35. Instead of trying to access all those 35 and saying at the end, okay, I just have 20 systems, you can just record this, and then next time you use the vehicle or vessel search list, you click it and you go directly to the scan point with those systems that you have previously registered. Okay, so this is very interesting, and it comes on the GRP. I'm gonna say that I only have the engine in this case, port and starboard. We have two, and that's it. Okay, I'm gonna create this and have my new customer. It's important obviously to add all the information, so then when you filter that information, it will be easier, especially also on the report side. Okay, so let's go to the vessel list or vehicle list. And now we can do two things. We can create a new machine, or we can add that machine, okay? And we can use the customer list, okay? So we can, for example, add new vessels. Now we have all this information. We have here QSC 8.3. That's the shop ABC. That's the one we have used before. And we can anyway create a new one. Okay, so right now, I'm gonna use a Caterpillar, for example. We all know Caterpillar. Okay. Okay. We can add customer if I want. That's what I was saying. So I can add a new customer, or I can add customer from portfolio list, or I can just save it and do not relate it to to a specific customer. Anyway, add the customer, same thing as before. Okay. Uh, okay, and you can add all this information. Okay. Now we have our C13. We go to customer list. Also very important, if we are using the tool and we don't have internet at that moment and we want to save this on the cloud, doesn't matter. It will be saved locally in your PC, and then once you have internet, you can just synchronize, okay? So no need to have internet in every specific moment. Okay, so here, as you can see, I've created this customer from the vessel vehicle machine list, and it's here, okay? So we can do it both ways. Now let's go to the reports. Okay, so we'll see here, obviously, we have different type of reports. Okay, we have diagnostics reports, maintenance reports, and work order reports. You know, when we create a diagnostics report, when we access a specific system, we exit that system, and the software asks us if we want to save it. Okay? We save it, and it will be accessible here in reports. Maintenance reports, we access it through the vessel machine service data, okay? And we'll call the report is if we have access to the workshop management and we assign a task and somebody finishes that task, and whoever has access to workshop management validate that task, it will be possible to create a work order report, okay? So first of all, I'm going to access. You already know this, but just in case, you're gonna access this QSC 8.3 comments. I click connect and I go inside. Okay, you can do whatever. And then I disconnect from the system, and there we have it. The dashboard has been opened. Do you wish to save it? Otherwise, the information will be lost. I click yes, and now I can do two things: either save it this way and that's it, or I can include the information from customer and from the vessel or machine. Okay. This, I have been asked about this. Why? Because I have just accessed directly a system. But if I use the vessel or machine search list and I click it and I go directly to the scan point and I access that specific vessel or machine, I don't have to include this information because I already know where I come from. Okay, so I know this vessel is from this customer and this specific vessel. I'm gonna show that anyway afterwards. I'm just going to accept, and that's it. And now, well, this I'm going to explain afterwards because right now we can send the reports by email. I'm going to click no, and I've been asked if I want to synchronize the GRP model. If I don't have internet, I can click no, and it's totally fine. Now I click GRP, I try to access, and now I know that I have information that hasn't been synchronized. That's why I can click skip or update. Okay, so do not worry if you don't have internet at that moment. You can be, for example, in a vessel and you are overseas, you don't have internet access, or you are in a mine and obviously you don't have any kind of internet access. Do not worry. Once you have access, you can just synchronize and that's it. Okay. Okay, we go to reports. And this is the report that we have created. And I have the symbol here if it has been sent or not by email. Now, maintenance reports, again, comments, QSC 8.3. You know that we can access all the technical information if we're not connected to the vessel, to the machine, but we need to have the link wire connected, by USB. In this case, I will just click vessel service data, click here, and I go inside. Okay, all this information is taken from the official manuals, okay, and we just filter all the most important information. So we can just click, for example, every 1 year, engine compartment. You can click things you're doing. You can even add some notes. And here you can see a preview of that report. Okay, same concept. You will see serial number, user date, time. You can then add this to a specific customer, vessel or machine, the logo of your company. You can put the information of your company here and all the tasks that you have been doing. Okay. If you want to save the maintenance reports, you need to access here and you need to click here, save report. Otherwise, you won't have that message like with the diagnostics report that, hey, you have created some information. Here you need to access, same concept. You can add some comments, or here you can add the information of a specific vessel, machine, or customer. Okay. Now I go to the GRP. And we can click update or skip. Okay, reports, maintenance report. Okay, now we have that report that we have saved. We can save a report and then we can edit it or modify, and we can add some information, or we can also relate it to a specific customer vessel. That's not a problem at all. Why is it so important to save all this information by customer, license, engine model, etc.? Because if after 1 year we have 1,000 diagnostics reports or even more, if we cannot filter and use this option, it's going to be very difficult to access all the reports we need and in no time. Okay, so then we'll call the reports. It's as I said before, we need to assign a workshop management. Okay. Well, I'm gonna explain the workshop management. Let me show you how to create this afterwards. Okay. So one last thing that's very important from the diagnostics report is that we can customize the information that we will see in our reports. Okay, we have diagnostics reports, maintenance, and work orders. We can access here and we can, click into complete report or shortened report. We can include diagnostics prices or not. It can be with the automatic time, like the time that we had registered that you have spent inside that machine, or you can configure your own information. That's up to the customer. Okay, you can include general comments or not, etc. For example, here when you create a report, you can add your comments or not. That depends on what you have selected here. For example, here include general comments. Okay? For example, here I can't add any information on the hours, price per hour, etc. But if I click here on include diagnostics price, I will. So that you can just play around yourself, and see the different configurations and see what's more convenient for your company. For example, here I'll click into include diagnostics price, our rate configured, and now we can by ourselves click here and put 2. And now we have already set before the price. For example, I put $120, and you can even put the tax and everything. Okay. Then we can go to maintenance, and we have also different information like include general comments, include customer validation. The only thing is once you can save a report, you have selected that box that required to save that specific customer and or vehicle or vessel. Here you have include technical data associated to services. Also, I have made some examples. I will show it to you. And then work orders, the same thing. We can include the work order cost or not. Okay, so let's get back to the software. Here you can access again configuration, reports configuration, have all these options. And now let me access the diagnosis report. I have, for example, here report without include diagnosis price. I click here to see that report. Same concept as before, maintenance report, serial number of the unit, date, start time and close time. Why? Because I configured the the report that way. But maybe some of you do not want to show to your customer how much time you have been spending in that machine. So then you can just change that and just show the close hour. Okay. Now we have the user time. Then you can add this to a specific customer, vessel, machine, vehicle, logo, information about your company. Okay. And here you will see anything because you haven't clicked that box of include diagnostics price. Then you close this and report with include diagnostics price with our rate configured. Let me access this report. This is just two examples. There's more things, but I don't want to spend too much time because you know now where to access and configure the reports in the most efficient or convenient way for your company. So here, as you can see, we have different information. You have just the close time, okay? Again, same thing, all the information about your company, vessel, vehicle, okay? And here, as you can see, we have clicked and put 2 hours, and then we have set that price per hour, tax and everything, okay? So as you can see, you can also use this as an invoice. Let me go to maintenance report. Have report without include technical data associated services. Okay, you see it this way. And now I click in report with include technical data associated to services. Okay. And now, as you can see, you have all this information that comes from the technical information. Okay. So that's up to you, whatever you want and what is more convenient. I just want to show, different options. And now the last type of report, we have this one, we'll call the reports. Okay, what I said before, I'm going to show you right after. You have your task, time you have spent. Okay, same concept of type of report. You can relate it to a specific customer or machine. And now I will access this one. And as you can see now the cost. Okay, you have done your task and you have applied when you said 1 hour, price per hour, etc. Okay. I'm sure most of you didn't know all this, okay? And that's why it's so important to do this webinar. Okay, so now let's go to workshop management. Now we have different parts. As I'm the administrator, I have work orders, task, workshop time reports, and tool use history. So what is a work order? Work order, you can create it, and then you can create different tasks. Okay, so tasks are individual, then can be just created that way or related to a work order. And in work order, you can have just one task or you can have multiple tasks. Okay, as you can see, you can also filter by all this information. You can have your code, license, vehicle, vessel, certain number, name, status, okay, priority. You can watch or edit everything. I'm just gonna create a new one, add order, okay, order ABC, okay, description. And then here in priority, you can put normal, low, high, urgent. Okay. Now you can relate this to a specific customer and vessel or machine. Okay. I'm just gonna create associate customer from portfolio. I'm gonna click here. And now QAC 8.3. Okay. Then I can create the different tasks. Have add task. Have 3 options. New for maintenance data. Okay. So you can use those tasks I showed you before in vessel, machine, service data. And then from text from templates with reference times. Okay. We can create those templates. And also if we can have those repair time option, especially on the commercial vehicle side, as the last option, you can access also and see, I want to do this and I'm going to spend the same time that the software is telling me. Okay, I'm going to have three options: new, okay, name, task 1, description, user. Now I can assign it to a specific user. I'm going to assign it to myself, and then estimated time 1 hour. Now I can use this only one time, or I can save this as a template, like as generic. That means that if you access any other type of system, you will have this type of task, or only associated to this specific model and type of engine. Okay, so then you can do this and be more efficient. If you have in the same network different computers and different people have access to the workshop management, if you create that template that either generic or associated to some specific system, it will be also available for those users. Okay, so it's important that with GRP we'll be able to customize the software with our own information and will be available in our whole network. Okay, so in this case I'm gonna just associate this to, for example, QSE, and that's it. Okay, assign to myself. Add task from maintenance data. Now I click here and I'm going to access, okay, the same vessel or machine service data. For example, here, for example, okay? And now I assign this to a specific customer to myself. Okay, so this is type 2, add task, and we have also from task templates with reference times. Okay, so in this case, if you have created your own templates, you can just click it and that's it. Or not in marine, but on commercial vehicle, if you have your repair time option, you can access also that information. Okay, I'm just gonna click here and that's it. And then I can assign this to myself or to somebody else. Okay, very easy. We can create different orders. Okay, and inside each order we can create different tasks. Okay, I click here, and obviously when I need to have access to the internet, if I want to send this information to the network. And now anyone can be in different location, or you can assign this work orders task from your office and you don't even go to the shop. That person in the shop will log in with their information, and you will access all the tasks that you have been assigned. Okay. Difference from task and work orders again is only because here, as you can see, we have the different tasks that we have assigned today. I've called task one, by mistake. It's the two different ones, and check quality of coolant fluids. Okay, so here I can see the different tasks, and those tasks can be assigned to a specific order or to different orders, or they cannot be assigned to anyone. Okay, so it's just an individual task. Let's go to workshop time reports. And here you can see, by user and date, how much time that person has used in what task and how much time. Okay, it can be by user and by vessel. Okay, so then if some different technician have been working on the same vessel or machine or vehicle, you can access and see how much time you have spent for that machine. Okay, and then tool use history. That's great. We need to click here, allow to set the tool use history. That's to have a control. Okay, only the administrator have access to this, and you will see name, serial number, PC information, start and end time, and the type of model that you have accessed. You can know if people are using the tool outside the work hours, or maybe you want to see if they're using the tool but they're not saving the diagnosis report. You can access here as administrator and access tool use history. Okay. Let me go to work orders, and I want to do the example to show you how to create that work order report. Okay. Order. Okay. Description. Task. Add task. This a new one. Why I don't have the maintenance data? Because I haven't related this now to a specific vessel or machine. So the software won't be able to know if the maintenance data is related to that vessel or not. Okay, so let's click here, task 2, user myself, 1 hour, use only this time. Okay, I'm sending this to the server, and now I'm going to access my tasks. So, okay, as I see, task 2, okay. I will see here you have exceeded the time that my administrator or whoever has actually workshop management have assigned to me, priority, everything. You can access the task, see the description and in progress and how much time you're spending. You can even add some notes, and from the workshop management, those notes will be available too. Okay, so now I can start doing. I see in progress. You can see the status as well, assign, close, everything. And when I'm done, I can click here again, and I can click post, cancel, or finished. Okay, now I can see the time, 13 seconds. I was fast, finished, and that's it. I'm done with that task. Okay, finished. I go again to the workshop management. I see here that is finished. Okay, and now I can put closed. Okay, closed here. Okay, do you wish to generate the report corresponding to the work order? And now you can click accept. You can leave this time, or you can assign the time by yourself. Again, you can add this to a specific vessel, customer. You can add your comments. Here, price, it would depend in the report configuration if you have applied the price option, cost option or not. I click here, has been currently generated. That's it, very easy. I go to the report side. Okay, and now I have the report I have just created right now. Okay, 1 hour, everything, your cost. Okay, as you can see, very simple to create. We have different type of reports. Diagnostics, maintenance, work order reports. Also, workshop management is quite simple. Again, if you're a big company or a medium company with their own management tool, well, I'm sure you already have your management tool, or even some small companies that they have it. But if not, you can still use it. Okay, so you have work orders, task, workshop time reports by user, by vessel or machine, and tool use history. My task you have already seen. Okay, very important. You access everything you have been assigned. You can also add some notes, modify everything. Okay. Now let's go to reception. Okay, so what is reception? You can be that reception role or not, but if you have access to reception, you can click here, reception form, reception 1, okay, priority high. You can add this to a specific vessel or not, okay, and that's it, okay. And when reception creates a form, it would be available on the workshop management, okay. As I said before, reception do not have access to everything. You have access to reception, okay, reception 1, okay. So from reception, you can create this. You only do that, okay, and then whoever is in control of the workshop management can just access this and create the different tasks. Okay, so everything is related. And well, human resource, I have already explained this, is you can create the different roles. Okay. Okay, let's go back to the PowerPoint. Okay. We have report sending. We can now, obviously we need to activate this, but we can send this, we can do the report sending, okay? So then we can customize if we want it for only the diagnostics report, or only for maintenance, or only for work orders, or for everything. We can then add the email where you want to receive everything. You can put different emails, and then you can put a subject if you want, and then here it says press here to set the custom fields. You can customize different fields. Okay, you can send 2 type of reports. Here, for example, if I click here to custom fields, I have just made up this diagnostics date, invoice date and engines brand. As you can see, we can put type of information and if it's a mandatory field or not. So I would, okay, diagnostics date is mandatory, invoice number is mandatory, engine brand is not mandatory. If we go here to the software, let me exit real quick. Okay, disconnect. Now it says diagnostic report has been opened. You wish to save it. Okay, yes, I want to save it. And then do you want to send the report by email? Now you can click yes or no. So now I click yes, and I can have two options: general sending and custom sending. Okay, so general sending will be just, a general message, a text, and that's it. Okay, and the other option, we can custom our fields. I'm gonna access again, and I'm going to show you both things. Again, you need to access the GRP and you need to customize the fields that you want. I believe I said was diagnostics date, invoice, and engine brand. So we have two options. We have general and custom. Okay, use to save it. Yes. And now, do you want to send the report? Yes. Custom sending. As you can see, now we have different fields. So on our diagnostics date, we can put today is November 17th, invoice number, for example, and engine brand comments. Okay, and now I can click here and that's it. It will send this automatically. Okay, if we go back to our okay, if I go back here to my PowerPoint, you will see these two options. These are screenshots. Okay, the report is the same, and here you will see general and custom. Okay, here general, I just add a general text, and custom as just the date, invoice number, and engines brand. Okay, so you have two options. Okay, let's get back to the GRP, and I want to show you where to access these report sending option, because when you install it, it's not activated. Okay, so it's here, main menu, configuration, report sending, and now you can access, okay, just for diagnostic reports or for maintenance reports, you can press here to custom your fields. You can add new fields, mandatory or not. Okay, that can be also very useful. So you can still save it in your PC locally with the GRP, or it can be on the cloud. Okay, that means that if your computer gets damaged, you're not going to lose this information, because you just need to install it on your device and the software will tell you, hey, do you want to retrieve the information because I recognize your serial number? Or you can just send those reports automatically, and then you can have them on your email, or you can send them to your customer, etc. Okay. Now let me here. Well, as you see, GRP Enterprise Network configuration, company data. Okay. Before you saw that had a logo on the report. Here you need to access company data, and then you need to just upload that logo. Okay, and now the information that had just rights to the logo with Jaltest Marine and other information, you can also add it here in company data. The same thing for price per hour, currency, and taxes. Okay, so here company data, there's also an important option inside configuration. Okay, now, okay, search in vessel or vehicle list. I was saying before, if you had previously saved all this information, when you access your software, you click here, okay? If you are not in marine, but in trucks and ag and FI, we'll see another option is search by VIN, okay? Here it's only by model and vessel list, okay? So you can access, go directly to your QSC. Okay, you can click here and you go directly to the initial scan point with those systems that you have previously selected. Okay, so that's interesting, and that comes obviously now it's for diagnostics, but you register this and it comes from the GRP. That's why it's so powerful functionality. GRP is very important, and you need to take advantage from that tool to be more efficient. Okay. Now, as you can see, now I have directly the shop name and vessel or machine information. Okay, why? Because I have access it from the vessel or machine search list. Okay, so that's important. It will save you a lot of time. Okay, so as you have seen, you click here, then you select your model, and then you will access your initial scan point. Okay, this is also very important, and it's related to diagnostics. And it comes from the GRP, or you use the GRP because you're going to save this on your network. And if you have, for example, a fleet and you have 20 different Jaltest or 100 or the number that of Jaltest that you have, you can personalize, customize from your computer, and everybody in that network will access that. Okay, so we have different things. For example, brand model personalization. Okay, you can click to main menu, click brand model personalization, and you can customize your own machines. If it has been created on the software, do not use it, okay, because you will lose all the technical information related. But for example, I'll put an example on the stationary engine side. You know, a lot of manufacturers, they manufacture the generator, for example, but they don't manufacture the engine. In our case, we cover the engine. You can just create a name for that genset if you want, and just add the specific system that we have. In this case, I've put this on, and I just put model 1, okay, and I've selected a Caterpillar engine. Okay, in this case, if you want, you can use it. And as you can see, we have that model created. Okay, again, if that vehicle is created already within Jaltest or machine, do not use this functionality. Okay, but again, GRP will let you share all this information with the whole network. Now you can customize your own information. Okay, although we have our own troubleshooting guides by focus and by symptoms, you can create your own ones, and they will be available for the entire network. Okay, the same thing with the initial information on the functionalities. For example, you want to do I don't know, whatever, like calibration, and you have that step 1 with that initial information, what you're about to do, etc. Then you can add your own information, yeah, and you know who created that information and when. Okay, now you can also create some group of measurements. You have access to all the live data, but you want to do a specific test, and instead of selecting those measurements every time, you can just create that group. Okay, so this is part, although all this is for diagnostics and technical information, GRP will save this information on the cloud, and everybody in your network will have access to that customized information. Also, vessel vehicle service data. Okay, for the maintenance data, you can create your own information. You will always see that plus, that blue plus. Then units of measurement, you can also customize this, the repair times, and in our next versions, the component information. So this is very important because one of the key selling points and good thing about Jaltest and why we compete at another level is it's not just diagnostics, it's all these additional features, taking information, you know, the management tool, customer support, and we'll be able to customize all the information. Everybody will access this and will be more efficient. Okay, and then also special function shortcuts. You know that when accessing any system, you have some shortcuts for special functions. If you want to have some customized options there, you can do it. I'm gonna explain everything right now. Okay, so for example, let's access Again, same one. Troubleshooting by symptoms, for example. Okay. Add customized troubleshooting. Click here. Okay. For example, if it's all systems, you need to say for what system it is. Okay, I'm going to do the engine and then name. Okay, so troubleshooting 1, add new step, step 1, all this information, step 2. What is so useful because you can spend maybe, several hours for do a thing that you could spend just 5 minutes. And this information will be available for your colleagues as well. Okay. Do you wish to synchronize with the GRP model now? We say no. And now here you have this symbol, okay, test guy or TS1. You can access and you will see all your steps, okay? So again, you can customize your own information. Check this blue plus, okay? Next thing we had here was diagnostics initial help information. Let's access the engine. We'll click connect. You can go to a specific, I think I've created one previously here. Yes. Okay. So parameters, you can modify the idle speed. And if you see here, that means that it's been customized by, no, sorry. This is for the shortcuts. Sorry. So for example, let me access some other things, general cutouts. And here was I created the example. Normally, you don't see this, the customized help, okay? You only see this information, very valuable. You know that with Jaltest, we have 3 steps: initial information, the initial requirements, and then you can perform your functionality. And then you can, if you want, you can add this customized help and check this C notes item created by the user, what version and time and date. So you know who created everything, okay? Let's make an example. For example, here, idle speed. Okay, and now add customize help. You have the blue plus. You click here, help. Here's to synchronize. No, and now I see the help, and you will know who did it and when. Okay, so this is very useful because from your office, you can be fleet service manager. You're in one place, and you can have access to everyone. Okay, you have access to everyone and your whole territory, and you can add all this information. Okay, next option. I'm not gonna do everyone, but just few of them. Group of measurements. You can go here to monitoring or live data. Normally, you can access specific system live data. Okay, you can access different measurements, and now you can create again what you have here. You have the blue plus. You click here, you name it as you want, group 1, and that's it. Okay. Now you have group 1, or for example, in our case, I create this turbocharger test. Instead of looking for every measurement every time, you can just access here and you will see again who did this and when, okay, and in what version. What else? Well, the last example I'm gonna do is vessel vehicle service data, okay, for maintenance. You go here to vessel service data. And now you can add your customized sheet. Same thing. You click here, the blue plus, and you add all your information. Here, as you can see, generally, this is what is added by us, by Jaltest. But here, you can access all your customized, maintenance tasks. So as you can see, this is related to diagnostics and tech information, but everything is saved at the end on the GRP, and you can share everything with the whole network because you have the GRP. That's what GRP is so powerful. Okay, and last thing, special function shortcuts. When you are here in the diagnostics menu, let me disconnect. Here, special function shortcuts. you have things that have been created by us, and when you install it, that's what you have, but you can add and customize your own functionalities, and you will see this, that it has been customized by you, okay? So very easy, just access the engine. Now you can go to any functionality, any action. For example, here you right click, well, and wait, oh no, here, sorry, here. Idle speed, let me check this. Here, you right click and then add a special functions. You can customize the name if you want, okay? Now you disconnect, special function, now you have both things, idle speed, test mode on roller bench, okay? So this is up to the customer. Some would just want to access the system or wants to add their special functions shortcuts. Now you know how to create your own ones. So this is very useful. Okay, so now we have finished the Jaltest GRP functions and features. Let's get to the last part. This is additional information, computer specification, customer support, what Jaltest GRP, and then if you have some questions. Okay, so what is mandatory has to be Windows-based. Windows-based, either if it's a computer or tablet, it has to be Windows-based. You have some minimum requirements. If you want convenient use and speed, okay, but what is totally mandatory is that it has to be Windows-based. You need to have sufficient space on the hard drive, and if you want to use this as Bluetooth, obviously you need a device that has Bluetooth capability. Okay, customer support is very important for us, not just for diagnostics, also for GRP. If you have doubts on this, just let us know. And as I know that we have users from different parts of the world, I'm sure you already know which is your customer support, customer service, and information, okay? But as you know, you can just, if you don't know already, you can just click here, contact details, okay? And we have information. We can be contacted by phone, email. We can even do remote assistance if we need so, okay? Okay, so why Jaltest GRP? As you have seen, is within the software. That's very important. Management tool, human resource, different type of GRP, all free, connectivity. Okay, so you can connect every tool, every computer you have on the same network, share all this customized information, all your reports, everything. All makes all systems. Okay, that's why Jaltest outperforms the OEM tools, because you can have in the same software, all makes all systems. In this case with the GRP is the same, okay? Even all projects, if you have in the same tool, commercial vehicle, ag, highway, and very soon marine, you can just have all makes all systems, all projects, if you want to call it that way, okay? Customer support, very important. #1 solutions, and it's not just because of the diagnostics, because we are #1 all makes manufacturer, but it's with all these additional features, all the tech information, the GRP, the support, that makes us #1 solution. That's important. In constant development, you know that we're very committed with this. Every 4 months, we have our own developments. We're very straight on this. We have a fantastic engineering team. Well, we have a lot of teams because we have a lot of projects and departments, but important in constant development. We have been on the all makes business for, I think, 20, 21 years, and we always have no updated every 4 months, 3 per year, okay? Very important. For projects, we know, and useful for every company, okay? No matter the size, small, medium, big size companies, this can be useful. I said that before. You're a big company, you have your management tool, okay, but just being able to customize the information from the GRP, access the customer list, machine list, access your reports, and create all those login accounts, that's fantastic, okay? So that's it, questions. Again, I've put the 4 projects. This is an all projects webinar. If you have any kind of questions, You can use the chart if you want. Okay, we have some. Okay, so we have here some questions. Okay, so how can I put two engines into one boat file? Okay, so here, as you can see, you can just access. Okay, so my colleague said that everything has been answered. Okay, fantastic, fantastic. Okay, so, okay, just in case. Bill, yeah, of course, of course. Everything is going to be in our social media, okay? I think you're gonna receive in your email a link to download the video, and then anyway, we're gonna edit the video and we're gonna put it in our social media, like our YouTube channel. Yeah, so see, this is gonna be like a training, right? We have talked about a lot of things, and it's important that's available for everyone so you can realize everything. Okay, so here I have a question: how to create the administrator technician. Yeah, this is in human resource. Again, important. The administrator has to create this. That is important. You need to access. First, you need to create the administrator user, and then you can create the different ones here in human resource. And add any question. Well, my colleague insists that everything has answered, so fantastic. Yeah, GRP is free. I don't know if this is a new question or not, but everything's going to be available. Just check the video whenever it's in our YouTube channel. And if you have any other question or doubt, just let us know. Send us an email, call us, and we'll be happy to answer everything. Just before leaving, because I was very concentrated, you will have a survey, but I want to do a couple of questions. First one is, are you currently a GRP enterprise user? I'm sure most of you are not a GRP enterprise user, but it's always nice to know. And again, requested, okay, it's free. Send us an email with your serial number, email address, company name, phone, name, and we can create it even if you only have one Jaltest tool. Well, as I thought, the no is winning. That's why we have done this webinar, to show you all this fantastic functionality. It's available for you. It's free. It's included in your software, and you can take full advantage to be more efficient. And as you have seen, yeah, we can customize things related to diagnostics, but this webinar has been specific about the GRP. That obviously is an important part of Jaltest. Well, thank you for voting. I had another one, but I'm just gonna skip it. It was to use the GRP Sync or Enterprise in order to connect different tools or computers and send networks. I'm sure it's gonna be pretty much the same, that it's a no more than a yes, but I encourage you to request the enterprise, encourage you to use it, to watch this video again and be more efficient in your shops. Okay, thank you very much, and thank you for being with us. Bye-bye.